Oh, looky here what we got today. The paint for the package tray. It's shiny there because it's painted on the inside of the cap, but it's kind of a matte color. He had painted it on, had some on some cardboard before they put it in the can to make sure it was a match to that tag I had, and I think it's going to look pretty good with the dashboard here. I mean, you're looking through the windshield, but that's a pretty good match, and this is going to be back here, and the dash is up there, so it's, if it's a tiny bit off, it's not going to be like it's, you know, like from the trim to that would look bad if that was a tiny bit off. But it looks pretty darn good. So we'll get this prepped up and ready to shoot. Maybe I'll shoot it tomorrow. So yeah, they did good. They're pretty close timeline to 5 o'clock. Well, I got one thin coat on it. I want to put maybe 3 or 4 really light coats. I want it to dry kind of dull. So I'll just put it on light, and that way it'll dry duller. It's lacquer, so lacquer doesn't really dry with a specific real good shine. This is lacquer. The original paint on this car is lacquer, and you can get an amazing shine out of lacquer. But when you spray lacquer like now, you have to sand it and buff it to get the shine. You can actually make lacquer shine better than enamel, but it's just not as durable as enamel. And this lacquer I had mixed a little bit more of a matte finish, so it wouldn't reflect on the glass. So if you have a real shiny surface inside your car, it reflects on the window and it makes it hard to see out. So you always want to make sure the top of your package trays and dashboard's kind of a matte type finish. That's not a real glossy finish there. It's kind of a matte. I just wanted to get a video of that. Seat adjuster is still in nice shape. The tracks underneath, as you saw, they blasted and refinished them. So it's looking really, really good. I think tomorrow I'll start putting the interior together. I want the package tray to dry overnight. That was the end of the 3rd coat. So let it dry a while longer, and I'll maybe shoot 1 or 2 more coats. Well, I turned the heat up, warm it up in here to help dry the paint. It's pretty cold out. This furnace has no problem maintaining that kind of temperature in here. The garage is pretty well insulated. There's the 5th coat on it. Really came out nice. I was noticing, you can see I don't know if they show up here, but a little mark there, and one there, and one there, and one there, and they're pretty consistent. I was wondering what the heck they are. Well, that's where those metal clips are attached. So I imagine that's the way it looked new. After all, General Motors didn't roll concourse show cars off the assembly line. They were far from perfect. The paint's dried overnight, so I'm going to start installing the tray. So I'll do a little video as I go. Well, it's set into place. Looks a lot better sitting in place. Now I'm going to glue this back down like it's supposed to be. Get some spray adhesive, and I'll spray this side, spray the vinyl, spray the metal, let the adhesive dry, and then pull it down and stick it. And then I'll start putting the side panels on and the back seat in. And this is what I'm planning on using to glue that package tray. Vinyl to the body, and I'm also going to put some between the cardboard and the sheet metal like it originally was, so hopefully it won't rattle anymore. So what I did was I just took my foam brush with the contact adhesive, and I painted this edge of the vinyl and I painted this edge of the body, and then you let that dry, and then you just peel it down and stick it down, and it'll stick hardcore once it's dry. So I think that, you know, this was a original adhesive here was contacted cement type of contact cement anyway. But yeah, they were pretty liberal with the adhesive. It looks like they probably just had a spray gun that they sprayed across it, and yeah, so that just, you know, that's the way they did things at the factory. This is what you use if you accidentally slop the adhesive somewhere you don't want it. So that's all glued down now, as you can see. I'll let the contact cement dry about 15 minutes, and then you just stick this down and it's stuck. It'd be very difficult to peel it back off now. That stuff works pretty good. So let's start on these, getting these side panels on. We're working on the side panels now. This panel just kind of pushes down and in. This panel is screwed on. There's a screw there, and there's one here and one here, and they're hard to see to get them lined up. There's like little nails that push into slits in the body along here that hold this in there. So I got my trusty flex light here so I can see to get those screw holes down there lined up. See that? And that one. Both need to be lined up with these holes. And then you can screw them in. They take a little bit of fuss. You got to really kind of push that thing in. So, and then that panel there screws here, and then this door panel is together. This is held on with a screw there and there. So if you want to take your car apart, you can get right at them. So let me get this together. Well, it's hard to video this, but sometimes just take a test light and put it in the hole, and then look inside there with your light until you get that through the screw hole to line them up, and then just hold it in, pull this out, and start the screw. These things can be a little bit of a bear sometimes, or a little bit of fuss to get these in, because you're really, you know, trying to get it all nice and tight and looking good. So let me get this in, and then we'll go from there. One additional thing too is you use the chrome screws with a nice washer like that so it doesn't tear the vinyl. You don't want these to bite in and rip your vinyl. And I don't reef these down. I just run them up and don't even really, you know, you don't want them too tight. You don't want them digging into the vinyl. These are the screws that hold this panel on here. So they're a little different. They're not as shiny, and the back of the washer is different. So make sure you use the correct ones for where it goes through the vinyl, so you don't ruin your upholstery. The driver's side rear panel is all installed, so now we'll do the passenger side one. Looking good. These are the nails that hold the panel to the body of the car. This leather strip is also held on with like little, or cat whisker, or whatever you want to call it. Not leather strip, but you know, it just dresses it up. That's held on with little nails too. So anyway, you just push this in and call it good. Let me turn the camera off so I can get this together. Alright, that's together. Just make sure your nails are straight. Straighten them up with a pair of needle nose pliers if you have to, which I did before I started the video last time. And then just push this up against the body, and then just take the palm of your hand and knock them in. Simple as that. Well, one thing I'm going to do is I found this tag in the back side of here. So I'm going to put this tag back in there. I don't know if it had anything to do with the car or not, but it looked like it was stapled to something or something at one time. I don't know if it's a part number or was something from something else. But I'm going to put it back in the car where I found it. So it's kind of like right in there, like that. So that's where it's going. This is where my hoard of screws come in handy. The screw that was back in this part right here was this one, and that's incorrect. So somebody must have had this panel off at one time, but I found one in my hoard of screws that's exactly like what's supposed to be in here. So that's where it pays off to save your fasteners off all your parts cars, or cars you strip apart. Well, the back side panels are all on. I got the tar paper back or below where the back seat goes. I'm going to give that a little vacuuming, and then I'm going to start installing the back seat. The back seat's in. I just wanted to kind of show the package tray through the window. Sorry about the overhead lights reflecting. I'll get the car outside when I get it all done and get some video of it. But I want to get some video of the seat, back seat while the front seat's out, so you can kind of totally see it. Looks amazing. There was nothing wrong with the original back seat, as you remember in the past videos, but I was having the front reupholstered and the fabric just looked a lot cleaner, and I didn't know if I could get that original back seat clean or not, so that's why I just decided to have it reupholstered. So yeah, it looks really amazing. Really happy with it. Package tray looks really nice. That made all the difference in the world. Well, I cleaned the trunk out of all the parts. I still have the sill plate for the driver's side. I'm going to pull this mat up after. I'm going to put the front seat in today, but I haven't got any. The padding is beat down right here, so I'm going to where that surface rust was. There's an area of padding right here that's kind of non-existent, so I'm going to stop at the trim shop later in the week and see if I can get a scrap of padding to repair that, and then I'll obviously have to lift this up here to do that, and then I'll put the sill plate back on after I get a little bit of padding in there. So yeah, I gotta re-adhere those plastic pieces to the front on each side. I'm going to do that right now that the seat, where the seat bolts to, and then I got to get the truck out so I can get this door open and that door open all the way. This is a two-person job putting the seat in, so you got to kind of carry it through the car, and you got to be careful you don't hit any of the trim panels, and I am going to cover them up with moving blankets. One more thing before I'm going to put the front seat back in. I'm going to take all the seat bolts and run them on a die, make sure all the threads are clean. Then I'll put some no-sees or some oil or something on those bolts, so if the seat ever has to come out in the future, it's not rusted in. This is what I'll put on the seat bolts. That way, you know, just down the road, if you need to get something apart, it just makes life a lot easier. One thing I did do, I got a little ahead of myself. I put this sill plate on, and I forgot you got to be able to lift the mat up to get the bolts in and out for the seat, which are underneath here. I did glue those little plastic doohickeys back on, so we'll get the seat bolted in here shortly. Front seat's in. All I got left to do is clean up the undercarriage where I, where I welded and stuff and burned the undercoating off. But looks really nice. The package tray being painted made a huge difference. I'll put my little piece of plastic on the seat and get in the car. I got dirty clothes on, so I don't want to get in on that clean seat. But the door panels, I mean, look at that armrest over there, looks amazing. So let's, I've already been sitting in it, but I had plastic on it, and I'm going to put it back on. The car looks a lot different from when I bought it. I just found some video of it being unloaded from the tow truck when I had it dropped off, and I'm going to put that video up on YouTube. So yeah, what a difference that makes. Holy mackerel, it looks like a brand new car on the inside. Now I still haven't put this sill plate on here because I want to be able to lift this to get underneath there to fix that padding there, but it looks really, really nice. Look at that. What a difference. Holy mackerel. That will keep me from getting dirt on the seat when I have my grubs on. So I'm going to save the plastic that was on the front seat just for these occasions when I have dirty clothes on and I want to get in the car. So Yeah. Wow. I mean, look at out the back now. You're looking over a clean package tray. The back seat looks nice. The headliner in this car is nice. That's my garage door opener. But yeah, it's the battery's disconnected still. That's why the dome light isn't on. But it looks nice. Oh, and I put tape over that thing that blinked on the camera there. Got that vanity visor that's GM. That was with the car when I bought it, so it's staying with the car. It doesn't say Pontiac, it says GM, and it tells you like your service. It says battery check battery, oil change, lubrication, spark plugs, tune motor, mileage. So I think that you'd write on pencil on that so you could, you know, change it and rewrite it and stuff over the years. But it still has a, and I showed this, I think, in the first video on the car. And I'm going to glue it back up. An oil change sticker from Mobile. It says 12/28/77, 18,930 miles. And it was done at Templeton Service at 11175 Chalmers, Detroit, Michigan. So yeah, that's staying on there. But looks good. Okay, we're done. It's other than the undercarriage, it's got the battery hooked up. I was going to back it out and do a little video outside, but it's getting dark out, so I'll do it another day. But it looks like $1,000,000. So keep an eye on my videos. I'm going to post, like I say, a video of the car in the next day or two of when it was dropped off here off the wrecker when I bought it after sitting for 40 years. It was on 4 flat tires and it was still in pretty good shape though, but you'll see the video. And we get a nice day in a day or two. Like I said, excuse me, I'll back it out and get some video of it outside in the daylight. Really, really thrilled. Whoops, sorry. Keep hitting the drip rail of the car when I was taking the camera in and out. So there we are. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to them. And thank you for watching my videos.